Hello, and I want to thank you again for allowing me to come in and give a brief speech on parental involvement in teenage suicide. I want you to think of a normal 15-year-old girl. She goes to school every day and she's bullied. People leave mean and nasty comments on her Facebook page. People take her belongings, does not return them, and then one day she finally has enough. She writes a suicide note, puts it in her pocket, and she walks out from a bus and gets hit by a bus. The bus does not kill her instantly. It took her several days to finally pass away. That was Amanda Cummings this past year in Staten Island, New York. I selected this topic because me and my wife have 3 teenagers, and we cannot fathom the thought of someone that could see the triggers of our children suffering from suicidal thoughts and let us know and not tell us about it so we can do something about it. Even though we want to turn our heads sometimes and we want to pretend that we don't see, we still have a teenage suicide epidemic that plagues our teenager. And we can prevent these things by understanding the triggers, and we can prevent them by supporting parental involvement laws. By showing the recent statistics, you cannot deny that there's still a problem going on. Worldwide, nearly 1 million people commit suicide every year. That is more than all the wars murdered or killed in war. Global and teenage suicide statistics report that these fatalities could rise to 1.5 million by 2012. Teen suicide awareness also reports that almost 1 in 5 high school students has seriously considered suicide. 1 in 6 has made plans to attempt suicide, and 1 in 12 has attempted suicide in the past year. Teenage suicide also reports that there are approximately 10 youth suicides every year for 100,000 youth. They also report that every day there are approximately 11 youth suicides. Every 2 hours and 11 minutes, a person under the age of 25 commits suicide. We still have a problem in America. If we expect to depend on our children in our future to support us and take care of us and lead this nation, we need to be willing to do something about it. We can recognize the triggers. Suicide Prevention Resource Center put together a small list of factors that we can see as triggers. Some of them are biopsychosocial risk factors. They include mental disorders, alcohol and substance abuse, hopelessness, impulsive and aggressive tendencies. Environmental risk factors also include job or financial loss, relational, losing a parent or a friend, maybe having easy access to lethal means. Social culture risk factors include lack of social support, the stigma that's associated with someone looking and seeking help, barriers, certain cultural and religious beliefs, and depression. That's probably the largest factor, depression. Adults is not the only people that suffer from depression. Our teenagers suffer from depression. And this could be due to school. You know, Dr. Jean Segal, Susan Barson, and medical assistant Melinda Smith reports that school, running away, drug and alcohol abuse, low self-esteem, internet addiction, reckless behavior, and violence all lead to depression. If we care and love our children like we say we do, we need to make sure that there is a awareness program or a task force that's allowed that can stop and help them, that can recognize these factors. We need to support parental involvement laws. So when they spot these triggers, they can notify the parents and let them know what their teenager is suffering from. Parents and friends, get involved. Stop turning your heads and waiting for a verbal cry. We need to recognize those triggers. Support your local and state laws, like I've said. Dr. Randall K. O'Brien, Director of Education and Research at National Right News Today, reports a study by 2 economics appearing in the January 18, 2012 online version of the Journal of Economic Inquiry refutes the hysteria with solid evidence that parental involvement laws actually decrease the evidence of teen suicide rather than increase. So if all luminaries want to reduce the number of teen suicides, they need to switch sides on their parental involvement laws, the way they view them. If it's something negative, they need to switch sides. We've seen the statistics. I've given them to you. I showed them to you. We don't want our children just to become a number. We need to recognize the symptoms and the triggers. We need to support the parental involvement laws. We can no longer turn our heads. We can no longer say, I do not know. In closing, I want to cite Proverbs 24:11 through 12. Rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. If you say, behold, we do not know this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who keeps watch over your soul know it? And will he not repay man according to his work? God values human life. We should value human life. If America stands to make a chance of making it into the next century, we need our youth to take us there. Thank you.